If you had lived in Europe in 1832 and someone had asked you who is the greatest dancer in the world, you would have replied, Marie Taglioni. She was born here in Stockholm, the Venice of the North, in 1804 of an Italian father and a Swedish mother. Her father came to the opera house as principal dancer when he was a young man, and he soon fell in love with the daughter of a Swedish singer. So they were married, and Marie was their first daughter. She was to become the legendary creator of the ethereal ballerina image in full gauzy skirts with little wings at her back, who enchants mortal men and eludes their grasp. Although so much of our dancing now is influenced by her, there's no way we can know just how Taglioni danced. We can only look at the pictures, read the contemporary descriptions, and guess. But fortunately, her most famous ballet, La Sylphide, has been handed down these 140 odd years and is still performed. And so the sylph flies up the chimney, as elusive as the dancers of times past that we would so much like to recapture and see for ourselves. Marie Taglioni's Swedish grandparents lived in this house which they built shortly before she was born. It stands in unspoilt countryside, not very far from Stockholm. We can be sure that Marie came here when she was a very young child, played in this garden, and returned later when she was the greatest success imaginable with all Europe at her feet. And yet, what an unpromising start to that great career. As a child, she was thin and stoop-shouldered, showed almost no talent. In fact, her dancing master suggested that she would be better apprenticed to dressmaking instead. Even when she was at the height of her career, she was described as rather plain. So where did her magic lie? Well, it was her father, Filippo, who was responsible. While he traveled as dancer and ballet master, he left his wife with the children in Paris. Marie trained with the best teacher, and when she was 18, he confidently arranged a debut for her in Vienna, where he was ballet master at the time. When the family arrived from Paris, he took one look at Marie's dancing and was appalled to realize for the first time that she was nowhere near ready to go on the stage. He had 5 months before the date of her debut, so he set to work at once, putting her through a course of training so grueling that the poor girl was in tears and practically fainting every single day. But it worked. The great night came, and after all the excitement was over, Filippo had the satisfaction of writing in his diary, June the 10th, 1822, first performance of A Nymph's Reception at the Court of Terpsichore. The first time my daughter Mary ever appeared on the stage, she gained the greatest success. This is the style of ballet she danced that night, and for the next 10 years, often with her younger brother Paul as the family moved about Europe, mainly Germany. Filippo too is in these pictures, done in Stuttgart in 1826, and they show the great range of his choreography before he made La Sylphide, which established ballerinas dancing on their toes. One of what I believe is the only remaining pair of Mary's toe shoes is in the Christiansborg Palace at Copenhagen, at the Court Theatre, which was built by King Christian VII and opened on his 18th birthday in 1767. The theatre, including the stage, is now a museum. Oh, lovely soft wooden stage, made in the old-fashioned way with very wide floorboards and quite a steep hill on it too, what we call a rake. Until, I suppose, about 70 years ago, pretty well all stages were built like this with a slope on them, and I think very nice to dance on. I'm sure Marie Taglioni never in her life danced on a flat stage. The story of how she was the first to become our present-day image of the ballerina is very much concerned with ballet shoes. This is her slipper. And this is a modern blocked toe shoe. You can see there's absolutely nothing in the toe there, and the back is very, very flexible, though I think probably she put a piece of card inside to make it stronger to support her on the toe. And she was known for always having this wonderfully childlike, happy expression on her face, and dancing with such ease, and nobody else had that quality. This was what her father had given her. This is a model of the scenery for La Sylphide at its very first performance, and it's here in the Museum of the Paris Opera. The ballet might seem a little bit naive to us these days, but they were simpler times 150 years ago, and the fresh charm of that, as danced with Marie Taglioni's very ethereal style, absolutely took the city by storm. And all the ladies tried to Taglionize themselves, as they said, and very probably to diet and get sylph-like figures. And Marie reigned absolutely supreme at the Paris Opera.